Why did this Lotus Exosphere, which is an unbelievable car, come to exist in the middle of Ohio just for the sake of teaching students? I don't think that a young person should be limited to achieve their dreams or not based upon how wealthy they are. Well, what's up, people? Well, it's that time of year to open up for applications for the Genius Garage educational programs. So today's video, I'm going to do two parts. One, how do you apply and what we're going to do this year? And the second part, just a personal aspect about what Genius Garage is, why I did it, and why, frankly, I found some new inspiration for leading the program. And as another note, right now we're in the back part of the building where I have a lot of my projects and such, and there's a Genius Garage white car up in storage and the Corvette's back there. But this year we've got a front room dedicated specifically toward the Genius Garage engineering programs. So the second part of the video, we're going to do it in there, but I'm going to be honest, it's a little bit more, it's a little prettier back here for everybody watching. So Genius Garage, this is 2022, the middle of February. Now this year the program is going to go through the last part of March through the end of June. So it's a little bit shorter, but it's a good amount of time to do a lot of things. And actually I've got a personal big thing and surprise coming up for people later in July. So I am not going to be available in July and after. But, so this year we have the Daytona Prototype with the Dynon-built BMW V10 engine. And Legacy Autosport and the people there are very kind. That's Butch and Mike being mentors and helping get that engine ready. So we're going to have the opportunity together as an engineering team to ready the Daytona Prototype and take it out and race this year. Actually looking at doing a couple of NASA Unlimited races in the Midwest, and I think it'll be very nice to connect with them. There's also the possibility, if we so choose, of maybe going to a higher level vintage type event. So really neat, zoomy car with a lot of tech on it, obviously getting the engine in, setting it up, so that'll be a great project. Also, we have the Indy car with the K-Series build that I think that's a nice thing on the side to continue the engineering and the building of that. Genius Garage has also acquired a sprint car. Yes, a dirt rural Midwest American sprint car. So there's going to be some neat and different things for us to learn, and honestly I think it'll be a hoot and a holler and a good time. And then lastly, and there'll be some special considerations for this last part of the program, which we'll get into. We have the Lotus T125 Exosphere. That is the very special, wild, effectively Formula One car that was actually featured on Top Gear some years ago. And that's a very special car, so that's going to be the creme de la creme, and it's going to require something extra special for people to apply. Now, how do you apply and what are the requirements? Well, you need to be 18 years of age or more. Genius Garage is in Bowling Green, Ohio, which is northwest Ohio. So it is important that you will be close enough, within reason, to here to be able to come on a more regular basis and be able to learn and take time. So that's going to be important. This year we're going to do it more part-time during the week, so it's good for local students if you're in school. And that way, if you were going to travel from out of state to stay here, it'll give you the opportunity to have a part-time job so you can exist while you get the scholarship to be here at Genius Garage and learn. And also that other special requirement if you become part of the Formula One Masters program. So those are the basic fundamentals that you need to be. Now, what about school and life and who you are? Well, first of all, Genius Garage is, and I never even really brought it up because it never related, colorblind. It doesn't matter to me where in the world your DNA originates from, and it doesn't matter to me with whatever you may identify with. I care about you as a person based on what's in your head and in your heart. And if you are going to go somewhere in the world of mechanics and of course engineering, and that being part of a race team in Genius Garage is going to help launch your career and better the world. That's what it's all about, guys. So, and I'll go into more of the personal reasons and things behind it and some fun stories in a minute. But anyway, beyond that, with Genius Garage, we basically choose who it is that we can have the biggest positive impact in their life. Is it the right time of the person's life to be part of Genius Garage? So oftentimes they're undergraduate engineering students. Mechanical engineering has kind of been the bread and butter, but we've had people from a myriad of other disciplines. There's even been a music major or even business, etc. Because the aspect of being part of a racing team, an engineering team, etc. These are the things that are the perfect trial by fire to forge people that are going to be fantastic and help launch careers, which I found to be very much the case and why Genius Garage students are in demand. And I've connected with so many CEOs and business leaders around the world that frankly want to hire the students. So with regard to your schooling, there's no particular thing. It's largely the ability, do you have the spark to want to go somewhere in life? And are you at a time where you're going to go somewhere and that the Genius Garage experience will have the best impact for you? right now. So that's the biggest thing. Now, how do you apply? Go to the Genius Garage website. That's geniusgarageracing.com. I know it's a little wordy and we do things more than just racing, but that's what we got. And there you'll find the email address. So please send in your current resume as well as a cover letter. And on the cover letter, please explain why you would be a good person for Genius Garage and why a Genius Garage experience would be great for you in your life at this time. Where are you going? That's not an opportunity to simply rehash the resume. You've already sent in your resume, but we want to know who you are as a person, why this means something to you, and why not only will it have an impact on your life in the future, how your life is going to have an impact on the world and also be good for the other students, the team, and the organization. It can be as short or as long as you want. So think about that and make sure. Communication goes a long way. So we're frankly judging you based upon that. But we look past some inexperience and look for the person, like I said, based on what is in their head and their heart. But professionalism does matter. So that's what's going on. We're going to start choosing people quickly. There'll be some people from the past coming back and stepping up their game, and looking forward to having you. There's only going to be so many students. It's going to be less than 10. So it does make sense for you to get in your applications quickly, but make sure that this is something you want to do. So if you're planning on applying after the first week of March, I'll give you a clue. You have waited a long time and it won't help you. So in the next 3 weeks, you really need to make this in. So the first week of March, the end of the first week, is really the deadline to make this happen. Do not wait until the deadline. That's another good hint. But we'll still look at everything because I like to give the right people the chance. Now, I'm gonna go into what all Genius Garage is and go in the Genius Garage room in a second. But another thing about how Genius Garage works, it is a 501c3 public educational charity. So Genius Garage is not a business. It is in fact set up only to be an educational experience for students. And for me, I remember when I was a young person, it's important that everybody gets a shot. So for me as the leader of Genius Garage, as well as our board of directors and everybody who's contributed, people contribute. They either donate their time, such as me. I don't get paid to be here. I'm just telling you that, okay? My job is YouTube and doing my own car builds, not Genius Garage. But I do it because I care, because I was once one of those students in college, and I want to help them get the shot that I never had, the step that I never had, and the mentorship that I never had so they can launch their careers. And that's what we've done for all these years, and it's been great. So you don't get paid because it's an unpaid educational internship that exists only for your betterment. It's not a job. But the people who get in do get funded, so effectively a scholarship to be able to be here, so we don't charge you to be here. People have said, why don't you make it a bigger school for people to pay? And I didn't want it to be that because I wanted to choose the students based on what's in their head and their heart, not based upon what their last name is or how big their bank account is. So that's why it's structured like that, guys. And I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's do this. Let's switch over. I'm going to talk about Genius Garage and what it's all about and some fun stuff. Story time. Story time. So now I wanted to talk more from the heart, not just specifically what it takes to get into Genius Garage and the specifics relating to the mechanics and the logistics of it, but what exists, what made Genius Garage come to exist. Why did this Lotus Exosphere, which is an unbelievable car, come to exist in the middle of Ohio just for the sake of teaching students, including this Daytona Prototype? And why do I donate this much time in my life in making it happen? All right, well, I'm going to lead this off. And this will probably tick somebody off, but I don't care. Recently I had a massive business, it's kind of an understatement, decide they want to work with Genius Garage. And after months and months and months and them coming to me and wanting to have a big conference call and then putting together a PowerPoint presentation and giving me that PowerPoint presentation, I got to the end of it and I go, okay, where's the rest of this? And they're like, that's it. And I said, okay. I see all these ways in which Genius Garage working with this company is good for the company, but I see no ways at all that this alignment or collaboration can benefit the Genius Garage program. And they didn't get it. I once had a university that I thought aligning with, that the president was out here and the provost and the head of a department and everything like that, and they were so excited to work together. And then when it finally came to be and months and months later they got to it, it was the same thing. They wrote something of all the way they'd like to work with and tell us what to do and send their students here, but not contribute anything whatsoever. So needless to say, both of those things were no on the Genius Garage end toward them. And I, as a leader, am left looking at in shock and astonishment Because for these people to come to Genius Garage and want something for nothing, they want the students, they want to be part of it, they want to have their name on it, but contribute nothing, I think to myself, are they stupid? Or are they trying to con us and get something for nothing, or both? Because I'd really love to know what it is. Now, I tell you that story as a leader because the things behind the scenes are the most difficult. Because Genius Garage, I had formed the concept and started working on this in 2013. And 2014 was the first program. So really, it's been doing this for like 8 years. And I personally have put an unreal amount of time into this that I wanted to because I care about the future. I don't get paid to do this, guys. The way I actually make an income is working on cars of my own for people, and the little bit I make from sponsors off my own YouTube channel. And I'm so thankful for my YouTube channel because that's the way Genius Garage actually gets enough exposure that people actually care to be part of it and see it. But it's not something that's helped me tangibly. So I'm very passionate about it, and that's what's gone to create it. And I did it because Genius Garage and the concept behind it and the time that goes with the students and the opportunity is exactly what I needed when I was young and didn't have. And I see so many young people need as well. It doesn't exist. Do you think a school or university is going to let a bunch of college kids work on what was $1 million F1 program car and not charge them? No, they're not even going to do it and let you charge, like, let alone a Daytona Prototype. Corporations, universities, etc., they're risk averse. They don't actually care about the future, they care about themselves. And they're only into it for that. But I care about people because I am a people. And I was. So that's why I've gone on this many-year quest to make the future better, because it needed to happen. You have to be the change you want to see in the world. And the truth is, it's been very, very difficult because it made it nearly impossible for me to have a career, let alone a decent income. And it took me backwards for very many years, and that's why I'm glad that I have the ability to be a YouTuber and do my own bills and things like that, because by being in the garage, by being a YouTuber, I can make my own income and then donate my time to help mentor students. So that's very important to me. And it was very important to me that the students didn't have to pay to be here because, you know, I don't think that a young person should be limited to achieve their dreams or not based upon how wealthy they are or where their DNA comes from or anything. I think young people should be able to achieve their dreams if they're the right person to achieve their dreams, which probably means if you guys psychoanalyze this well enough that those are the things that had stopped me from achieving my true dreams, because I wasn't wealthy enough or born in the right circles. And I don't like that. And I would like to make it better. And I've been doing that with other people for many years with Genius Garage. So it just means a lot. Now, on that note, I have done this for a long time, and frankly, it's been a lot of pain to do this. And I'm saying that with a smile. But it's been very difficult, because when you form a nonprofit from the ground up, you learn over the years all the ways that nonprofits are done wrong for the wrong reasons, and you see it. It's kind of like the Omega car. When you build a car that's recyclable and lower environmental impact and more efficient to better manufacturing the world over, to be able to do that, you also learn everything that's wrong with world manufacturing and business and how that works. So from creating something great like Genius Garage, I've also learned everything that's wrong with the world. And that's where my attitude and chip on my shoulder comes from. But when I told you that story at the beginning, well, the middle of the video now, about the corporation that comes to me and they want a bunch of stuff with their hand out, I had to write the CEO and I said, respectfully, I don't think your people get it. Genius Garage is a charity to students, not to corporations. And I don't say that mean, I say that matter of fact. But that relit my fire personally to keep going with Genius Garage. Because honestly, I get burned out. I get tired. I do. Because it takes a lot from a lot of people to make this happen. A lot of personal investment, a lot of heart. And when you use that much heart, it can be tiring after a while. So, but it's relit my fire. And here's the reason why. The beautiful thing about this day and age, and there's a lot of things wrong, but there's some beautiful things too, with social media, is that good things have the opportunity to exist where they wouldn't have in the past. And I think Genius Garage is one of those things. And the beauty of Genius Garage now is Genius Garage is not beholden to a corporation. We're not beholden to a university that just wants to have kids take out giant student loans that they can't default on so they can give them a crap education and make lots and lots of money. Problem of our times. We're not beholden to any things like that. We are only beholden to the core values of giving the students the best opportunity to learn in the real world and do something amazing that no one else would give them so they can get jobs and so somebody will go out there and take a swing for them, but maybe more importantly, with them. And the beauty of social media is that Genius Garage, even small, like we have a couple of cool cars, but it's small. We can only help so many students a year, but through social media, hundreds of thousands of people could see it and be inspired by it. And since we're not beholden, that means I can take a swing for what's really right, for what's really truthful, and what's really the best thing for young people. Because ain't nobody got a string on us. And I don't know if that exists anywhere else. So it can be tiring not to have some massive support thing. But by being Robin Hood and the band of merry men out in Sherwood Forest, and not tied to some big thing, you can fight for what's right. And what's right is the truth and young people in the future. So that's why I'm still swinging. Because it's fun to fight when the fight is right. So, the Lotus Exosphere, a car that was $1 million car with all the spares that came directly from the Lotus Formula One program and is pretty cool. How is that you get to work on this and be part of this as a master's program while you're working on this old thing with a boring BMW V10 engine? Well, special something. And it has nothing to do with how good you look on paper, how smart you think you are, or what you've done in the past. It has something to do with that, but not everything. To be part of this program, you must have done or do one of two things. You will have had to have been philanthropic on your own accord and for no tangible gain to yourself, doing something positive with your own work and time toward your community, your environment, your nation, and or people for the right reasons. So that might get you to be part of this car. But I've come to realize, because I got a little too demanding in the past when I thought about this, that not every young people has had the opportunity to do that or the inspiration to do that, but might have the right heart to do that and time and drive. So if a young person is the right person to be part of this car and team and get the accolades of that, then if you haven't already been philanthropic, you will be expected to be philanthropic while you are here. So a day a week, instead of working at Genius Garage, or instead of working a part-time job, or going to a cars and coffee meet, or going out on a date, or playing video games, you will need to be philanthropic. You will need to go out there and work for the betterment of community, nation, people, the environment. And I will be happy to help you find a place where your time will matter. And not only will your time matter to those things, your time will matter to you. Because I think a problem of our time, and it's probably always been a problem, but especially our time now, is entitlement. The world is very entitled. Everybody wants free things. Oh, and if something goes wrong, it's someone else's fault. Well, it's not really the case. And in the case of Genius Garage, students are here because I and other people believe in the future, not because those students were born special in some way, and not because they're paying to be here. And I don't want them to forget it. I would like young people to realize that they are part of this world, their community, their nation, people together in the environment. And if you all want the future to be better, it's up to you and we to make it better. And you probably don't get paid for it. You may never get acknowledged for it, but what you did is make it better. And that spark, that concept, that sense of pride in making things better for the sake of making things better and a job well done is an incredibly important personality trait, and one that I would like to stoke that spark in young people. So, this car, coming from the Formula One program, which is the most expensive sport on earth and probably the most selfish world in the world, to a fault, now gets to matter for non-selfish reasons. Of course, we're going to forward the careers of young people, be them engineers, mechanics, etc., or business people. Help them get noticed, help them get jobs, help them start a business, whatever it is that they need to succeed. But to put people in the position to be inspired and learn, to be the change they want to see in the world for the right reasons, not just be a keyboard warrior. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing is still time spent doing and working in the real world. So that's how you can become part of the Formula One program, which will be head and heels more important than everything else. Maybe it won't require any more skill to be part of than doing something like this Daytona Prototype or the IMSA Corvette, or building the little BD5 microjet that was from the ceiling, or working on that IndyCar project for engineering. But it's going to take a special caliber of person. So that's it, guys. I'm still here fighting this fight because, well, I wanted to. And I've seen that it's mattered. When I started Genius Garage all these years ago, I knew that it was the concept that would bring everything together. And back then I saw that it would matter to industry because the young people would have been cultivated into the employees or the leaders of industry, where college and an academic setting cannot, because it's vacuous. It's not the real world. There needed to be something to cultivate young people for the betterment of industry, and to attract the best and brightest and most driven people for the betterment of industry in the future, and get them thinking and doing. And for the sake of racing world, of vintage racing, it makes racing actually more relevant to industry than just a rich guy's playground. So I knew it would matter to that, and I thought that would matter. And I knew it would matter to education, because this would be the way to attract the best and brightest, most driven young people from around the world. However, what I failed to realize about those three things are they don't really care about anybody but themselves. The racing world, colleges and universities, and corporations. So screw them. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the best of what humanity can be is actually where we all are right now. But what matters about Genius Garage here, even in a small way, is the best intentions and concepts of humanity can come together, at least in one place, for some young people that can come, but we can also share that and inspire the rest of the world together. And I'm not afraid to take that swing. I never was afraid to take that swing. And if you don't like it, come at me, brah. So I hope that if you're not a young person potentially going to apply, that you at least share this with others, whoever that may be. The age minimum is 18, of course, for the racing vehicles and all. But you notice there's no age maximum. Typically it's college students or people in their 20s, but maybe there's somebody who's in their 30s or older that might be at the right time in their life that can do a lot of good. So send in your applications. Go to geniusgarageracing.com, find the email there. Again, resume and cover letter, and get at it. But that's what's going on this year, guys. We've got this, if you're going to be philanthropic. We got the Daytona Prototype. We're going to take out and race, hopefully get that engine in and learn a lot. We've got the engineering projects. And of course, I forgot the Lykan Hypersport Fast and the Furious stunt car. We're going to finish that up, pat it on the butt. So you'll get to be part of that too. I think it's a lot of fun. And of course, I will be my zany, kooky YouTuber self in the back working on all my silly projects when I'm not helping you out and mentoring you up in the front room. So if you're here, you will get to learn the things I might get to share with you, such as things behind the scenes of how the media and social media work in reality, and all of the stories and things for fun and learning from. And I will hope you will excuse me when you're here if from time to time I'm stressed out, because it does take a lot of effort, some risk, and a heck of a lot of heart and time, and frankly money, to be able to give young people the opportunity to be here. But I think it's a good thing, and I wanted to share that with you. So that's really all I've got. I hope I didn't miss anything, but that's basically it. If you happen to be a person, a business, entity, whatever, and you would like to help with Genius Garage or contribute in some way, shape, or form, whether that's time, a monetary donation, or service, you can of course do that. It's a 501c3. We're public educational charity. And if you wonder, it's a public, so you can look it up. That's it. But things that really matter. Actually, there's a really nice gentleman who donated his old slot car racing stuff. So in the future, when I do more younger people program, or people are wanting to learn from electric motors and aspects of that, that can be helpful. And some nice people have donated books. And of course, even these cars were donated. So it's been a really wonderful thing, and I should probably end this, but it matters a lot to me, and I feel re-energized to really make something of this year after that silly corporation wanted us to work for them for nothing. Probably means they're also not the place I want to send my students to work. Actually, in the next couple weeks, I get to go out to the Southwest, somewhere in the desert, for 2 really cool startup companies. One that makes things that might make houses really quickly, and another one that deals with space. And that just might be a really cool places that students can get hired. But, you know, why would you want to come to Genius Garage? It's not like we have cool cars or anything. All right, you guys, that's it. Subscribe below if you want to see more. I'll, of course, share some Genius Garage stuff in the future on my own channel to be able to help out and give it that boost. Big thanks to Edit Vinwicki. That's also been an amazing thing for Genius Garage. And I hope you guys will share this, and we find some really neat young people deserving that can apply. And by deserving, I mean deserving of at least having a shot for the betterment of humanity in the future. Not because they are born special, okay? You got to do something with it. You got to better the future. That's what I mean by deserving. All right, guys, I'm out.